when I heard about this story, I've heard it way back. We brought it up a while back, but I've forgotten about it. This is from the Gateway Pundit. Forced diversity. Obama administration begins redistributing poor inner city families to U.S. suburbs. So what Obama and his administration are doing, and you're not aware of it, they are taking black mothers and children from the ghettos, from the projects, and implanting them in white suburban communities around the country. And you don't know about it. Just like we don't know what they did with those illegal alien children that came across the borders at the border, and they put them into communities in the wee hours of the night. No one knows where they are and who they are. They are doing this with black, out of wedlock children and their mothers. They're taking them. Can you imagine these folks coming out of the Chicago projects, Gary, Indiana projects, South Central LA projects, and being put into your beautiful community where you have fathers and mothers together, decent schools, nice neighborhoods, because you're taking care of them? Where they've already implanted 10,000 black mothers and children in suburbs, and you don't know it. And what they're doing is they're scattering them about. They say, hey, don't put them all, too many in at one time, and do not put them all together. Kind of scatter them in the community, like, sort of folks don't notice or won't notice right away. In 2013, Obama passed regulations forcing suburban neighborhoods with no record of housing discrimination to build more public housing for minority. So he passed that. And so even if your community did not discriminate or have not discriminated against black people moving in, Obama is still forcing these projects, these homes, into your neighborhoods. In June, Obama moved forward with regulations. In Baltimore County, over 10,000 black women and children have moved to white neighborhoods in a court-ordered relocation program to combat the intense inner-city segregation and poverty forced by decades of discrimination. That's not true. These people are separated from white people because they are having children out of wedlock. They are relying on the government to pay their rent, food, medical, everything. And so they lock themselves into these governmental sponsored neighborhoods. So white folks, you're going to wake up one day, your neighborhood will be dark with out of wedlock children and out of control black mothers who have no sense of morality, who are not self-controlled, and who hate you because you're white. The government must require developers to set aside housing for low-income tenants and prohibit landlords from refusing to accept tenants with federal rent subsidies. So the government is going to pay their rent just as they're doing in the projects. And you are going to be forced, if you're white and you have a home built there or apartment building built, and the black out of wedlock mother with her 100 children, no man around, no morality, hating white folks decide, I want to live next door to you, and the government going to pay it, you have no other choice but to say yes. Thank you, Barack Obama. Barack Obama is trying to solve a spiritual problem by means of a physical solution. And that's not going to work, folks. Black Americans are suffering not because of white people discriminating against them based on color. They are suffering due to the lack of moral character and the lack of self-control. This idea of taking the power away from white people by passing these type of laws and enforcing it on them is evil and is not going to turn out for the good. So white Americans, these folks are moving into your neighborhoods and you're not paying attention. There are 100,000 more on a list that will eventually be placed into your neighborhood, to the suburbs, destroying every suburb as they move in, just as they have done in inner cities. This is evil. Barack Obama is an evil president.